Before calling up speaker for today, I would like to uh, do a reading. That says, yeah. All right, it says Cheonseongyang, Book 11, Ceremonies and Holy Days. Chapter 1, the etiquette of attendance. Yeah. Section 1, a life of attendance. 1 to 10. 1. You should live a life of attendance and encourage each other to be strong in doing so. Up to now, you received salvation through a life of faith, but from now on, you will find salvation through attendance. If humankind had not fallen at the outset, you would attend God as your way of life. Attending God is something you do with your whole heart in your daily life. Wherever you go, you should always feel that your Father is in front of you and your mother is behind you, and that heaven is with you at every moment, to your right and left, above you and below you. When you, as Unification Church members, carry out your mission, your public responsibility in the church, you may run into difficulties that you cannot resolve on your own. When this happens, you should purify your mind, cleanse your body with a bath, and pray sincerely to heaven. When you pray, ask God for guidance, and he will show you the way to go. If he does not, it is only because your heart does not reach the standard of God's heart. If it does, he will surely answer you. If you entrust everything to God and rely on him when you face difficulties, keep praying, prayerful heart. God will guide you in the right direction through your intuition. In this age, you're justified by living in attendance to God. You attain salvation through attendance. Previously, we were saved through paying indemnity. However, you must now enter the age when you attend heaven. There must be a nation where everyone lives in attendance to heaven. Now is the era when we live in attendance to God. The Unification Church does not talk about the kingdom of heaven based on faith alone. We say that the righteous are justified by attendance, that we are saved through attendance. But to attend God, you need to know him. It is not a problem to attend him once you understand the teachings of the Unification Church. Once you truly understand them, you will know God and find it natural to attend him. Having said that, I ask you, how regularly do you feel God's presence? How many times during your 24-hour day do you feel his presence? Can you expect to be saved through attendance if you attend God 2 hours a day? You should need God more than you need to breathe, and seek him more desperately than a choking person gasps for air, or a dehydrated person craves a drink of water. God is more essential than food. You have to know God's situation and circumstances, understanding his heart, and then think of him as you would your father. He is your father, my father, and our father. Why should learning about God, listening to him, and attending him be our way of life? It is so we can come to understand God's circumstances and heart as they were expressed in the pages of the Bible. It is to understand that God is our own Father, who has been wounded, trampled on, rejected, and turned into pieces. A life of attendance is not easy. It is not easy for you, and it is not easy for me either. If I have to deal with an issue concerning attendance, I cannot sleep. I know that unless I attend God, he will be restricted, that without me, he cannot be liberated. It should be the same for you in attending me. You should make me feel that I am powerless without you, because only when you expand the scope of your activities can I broaden the stage of my activities. Our mindset during a life of attendance. God is not a fantasy. He is not just an idea or an abstract concept. He leads and guides our daily lives. He is always with us as the master of our daily circumstances. He does not exist just so we can attend him, but to live together with us, sharing love. All my life, I have been fighting battles in circumstances where God could not be properly attended. No matter how hard the world opposes a person like me, no matter how hard Satan strikes me or tries to undermine me, they cannot prevail as long as heaven approves of me. Since I have this foundation, whoever attacks me ends up toppling over. In order to attend God, we need to begin by placing him in the midst of our heart and mind, and then become completely one with him in our body. Without doing so, there is no way for us to liquidate the devil's world. That's why we view this time as the age of attendance, the age when we're justified by attendance. We're saved through attendance. God is not a distant God way up in the sky. We should attend God as our subject partner in our daily life. How do we attend him? By using the law of indemnity, we must unravel all the sorrow and painful circumstances that God has endured throughout the ages of history. Okay, I'd like to call up sermon for today.
I have a shortish sermon today, and then afterwards I want to show a video based on the holy days of the Unification Church. And like recently we had the True Children's Day holy day. So I think I came to this theme because of the holy day and the meaning of Children's Day and what does it mean to be to attend as a true child. Our Unification Church teaches something different because we teach through the divine principle that the Old Testament was the era of the law, of obedience to the word. You know, like Moses received the 10 Commandments, and just people had to obey the word. So their relationship with God was more like a servant. They didn't have the heart connection. So that prevailed for 2,000 years. And then Jesus Christ was sent to the earth as a true child of God. And he had this direct relationship with God. And he wanted human beings to have the same relationship that he had with God. That he had a relationship like a father and a son. You know, he called God his father. And that's something that's often missed, you know, when people read the Bible or the New Testament. They don't realize that Jesus is the Son of God because he had this oneness of heart with God. You know, he was born without sin, but the most important thing is his relationship with God was a parent and a son. He was the first person to experience that oneness. So from that point of view, Jesus was attending God fully as a human being. You know, we did the readings this morning about attending God, but it's not an easy thing to attend God because God is a spiritual being. One point we read that Father said, well, if God was visible, you'd roll over and die because you get so shocked because God wants to travel within us. But at the same time, he also said, you should think of God as your father or grandfather, like feel as close as that. So there's kind of two aspects to it. Perhaps in the Old Testament period, people felt like that, you know, that God was fearsome, like awesome God. Although sometimes God even appeared to the people like a breeze or a whisper, you know. But then again, it could have been something awesome and fantastic, like miracles and parting of the waters and all that kind of stuff. Now Jesus came, and he came with that relationship to bring all human beings closer to God. He could have done it in his lifetime. He could have brought them like from a servant level to a true child level. He could have passed over all stages in doing so. But as we know, Jesus could not fulfill that portion of the responsibility because the people didn't receive him very well, especially John the Baptist. And thus, the people left him high and dry, so that eventually he went to the cross. And it was only after his death, he was resurrected, and he appeared spiritually to his disciples. And then for 40 days, he recovered the relationship with his disciples. He built it up again, because they had lost trust in him and had lost faith. Now, he left then, he went to the spirit world, but he left the promise that he was going to return, and he would return a second time. And then nobody after that knew when he was going to return also, although people have thought about it, but they never really understood that. And so we waited for the second coming. And the second coming of Christ is when Jesus comes back as a new person, but now he has to fulfill the whole mission of the true parents, to become the true parents, to give rebirth to human beings, all the Christians, all of us, as become true children of God, so we can have this artistic relationship with God. And so that's the whole thing about the life of attendance. You know, that we're the very fortunate ones, because we are living at that time. So everything we do is a life of attendance. We can attend God. We can attend God, the invisible spiritual parent, but we can also attend a human being as the substance and as the representative of God. You know, there's so many ways to attend God in our daily life, but this is a special time when we can actually attend God like true children. Sometimes I even didn't really catch that, you know, the meaning of the blessing. The blessing is the more than just the change of the blood lineage, it's the change of your heart towards God. You have now the opportunity to know God as a parent. I mean, I've been going through a lot of challenges myself, because I haven't felt as close to God as a parent. Especially as you get older, you think, well, what is God really like? And is God, such a being? And because if you see all the different thoughts about these things and how people view God, some people view God as energy or as an abstract being that's not involved in the earth, and people don't know about the spirit world, so they come to all kinds of conclusions. But of recent times, I've been more interested to find, how am I going to connect with God as my parent? And how do we feel true parents are our parents as well? That's a big question. In the past, we would have taught in our Unification Church that, you need a foundation of faith and a foundation of substance to attend the Messiah, to receive true parents. Foundation of faith is your belief in God, is your individual relationship with God. Foundation of substance is the horizontal relationship between us, because God needs a foundation to come to each of us. So the foundation of substance is actually more important than the foundation of faith. And we always taught that it's easier to make the foundation of faith, because we can each one of us have our own individual faith in God. So I might feel, and I know I have a strong faith in God. God loves me uniquely because of that faith. The central figures had a more difficult job to do, because they had to make certain conditions, like Moses or Abraham, Jesus, true parents, like to make the foundation of faith. But still, foundation of faith is always easier than the foundation of substance. Foundation of substance is because now God has to work with your God and my God. He has to come in between us. And then sometimes it's very tough, because we experience our fallen nature. We've experienced something. I just don't like this person. If you ask me to follow Jisung, I just couldn't follow him. He's very strange, or something to that effect. I might feel like that. And these kind of feelings are always stirred up, when when you're in that kind of situation. And for certainly, Jesus had the experience with John the Baptist, because John the Baptist thought Jesus is strange. He's an illegitimate son. He doesn't have much education. You know, that kind of situation. And I think we've all experienced it. Because it's often not easy to recognize how God is using a person, you know. We don't actually know that, you know, a person could be younger than me, and yet God is closer. The father said, Reverend Moon said, you know, even if you join a long time ago, you still could be Cain, because God is working with the person who's the most enthusiastic, most energetic, most passionate. Not really concerned about your age. Like if I'm old, but if I'm like I've given up, or I'm not really that enthusiastic anymore, then I'm Cain in that sense, you know. But we want to pass over that. We want to transcend that and become really true children of God, you know. So all the things we do, attendance, we can do external kind of things of attendance, which is we do. All the religions have kind of different kinds of attendance, you know, like the Muslims have their bowing and their 5 prayers a day, and all the religions, all humanity, all religious people, but it depends on the purpose. So you have to find why am I doing these things? Recently I was thinking, we do a bowing condition, but what's the meaning of the bowing condition? It's sort of, I realized that you really need to look a little bit behind the external ceremonies, the external rituals and so forth. One time my son came to us and he said, "Are you still doing those rituals?" He said, he saw us doing something, you know. I was thinking, yes, we are still doing those rituals, but they're very meaningful. Rituals are very meaningful, or ceremonies even. You know, it depends on the purpose, like the 8-day ceremony, for example, to bless a child, which is one of our traditions. But it's not a ceremony. It's a very meaningful thing behind it, and that's what we have to catch. You know, that what's behind something, what's behind the ceremony, whether it's a bowing condition. Father actually explained about the bowing condition. He said, well, in the West, you don't really figure it out because you don't come from that culture, but it's very common in the East, you know, bowing. And he explained that the full bow is actually is the 4-position foundation, is like heaven and earth coming together. We do like this, and then you touch the ground and you touch the earth. He said it's like a 4-position foundation. And then he was describing about the face itself, you know, that the eyes represent God, and the nose is the dual characteristics, and then the mouth, all things, you know, that everything has a meaning. So if you did it with consciously, and if you did it with a sense of being in the moment, everything could be more meaningful, and that our heart relationship would improve and go closer to God. And because also we celebrated our 40 years anniversary not so long ago, this month anyway, and it gives us a chance to reflect about our relationship with God, you know, relationship with true parents. What is our foundation? And I think because we passed 40 years, we felt we've passed over the wilderness. We should have a better relationship with God now. We should be closer. And in a sense, we felt it. I felt it more in my prayer, you know, that, and my wife said also, because she went through 4 months of kind of a lot of internal struggle and anxiety, but she came out of it, or is coming out of it, but her prayer has improved. This is I noticed, and she's feeling more God as a parent, and that, you know, that we can feel it in our prayer, we can feel it in our communication. And of course, attendance, I would like to say, is not just the vertical, it's very much the horizontal. So vertical and horizontal go together. And I used to focus a lot on the vertical, you know, the spiritual and the vertical, because when I joined the church, it was like a single person. So you're just yourself, and it's easier. Foundation of faith. My foundation is with our true parents, and that's the most important thing. But of course, when you grow up and then you're blessed and you have a family, and you find that, oh, now it's your own foundation is important. You know, it's your own foundation of substance. It's your relationships. And there was a speech given back in 1980, even after the first 21-year course. And Father said, in this historical True Children's Day, it was called the Historical True Children's Day speech. And Father said, you know, you're all very great at like respecting me, and you drop everything to come. But he said, what about your own relationships? He said, you know, how are you treating your brothers and sisters? What kind of artistic relationships do we have? He said at that speech, I prefer if you took care of each other rather than coming to me or, you know, attending true parents, because it's easier to attend true parents with the very highest, in our estimation, the highest spiritual level. It's like when I heard, for example, when we had to change from praying in true parents' name to praying in my own name, I felt really uncomfortable for a long time. I thought I really liked praying in true parents' name. It's like how Christians pray in Jesus' name. They feel a lot of authority, a lot of comfort even. But when you have to change, and then it took me a long time. And then Father says, don't pray if you don't have anything to report. You know, you need to have something to report, or else don't bother even praying. And that was also quite took me a while to digest that as well. But then I felt, okay, God wants a nice report. Or if he said, Father said, well, if you don't do anything during the daytime, then you don't have anything to report. So it's okay. But I think afterwards we started to feel, look, we're true children. We're children of God. So we can express our hearts. We can have a small report, you know. We have something to share. Because God is a parent. He wants to hear what you have, what's on your mind, if it's a struggle, if it's something is really difficult. But of course, ideally, we want to have something to comfort God, you know, to lighten God's mood, or to lighten true parents' mood, you know. Because recently, Michael Balcom has said again, you know, did you ever write a letter to true mother? He said, and a lot of people put up their hand, no, they haven't. But of course, he does it all the time. And he always says, oh, I always send it at a time when I know that true mother will have a chance to read it. And I was wondering, well, what does he have to report? But obviously, he has a lot to report. But then immediately I thought, no, I don't think I'll bother with that, because what have I got to report to mother? There's not a lot happening. And but I just think that is the heart is important, the heart of attendance. You know, like true parents are not with us. They're like, almost in a sense, they're like spiritual parents, because they're not really what we see. We have to have a spiritual relationship. But then I guess if you see true parents, you can have a real relationship, you know. You can have a real connection, not just spiritually. I think that's ideally that's the way it should be. Like physically and spiritually, you need a relationship with true parents while they're on the earth. Each one of us has very limited opportunity to physically be with true parents, you know, especially nowadays. Maybe if you go to the blessing and true mother is there, then you feel a closeness. But what happens after that? You know, when you come back, or you're a blessed couple, or you're starting your family life, maybe it's distant. You know, this is a feeling of being distant to true parents, feeling distance to God even, you know. But I do think, though, it's very important to keep cultivating even small things, you know, small things of attendance. Just find something and just consistently do it. Everything is attendance, you see, every aspect of our life. Because if we're living with God, we're living with that consciousness. You know, people in the world are attentive to many things, but they just don't know the providence. they're attending many things, maybe their job, they're focused on that they give their heart and soul to it. But fortunately, we have something very unexpectedly, miraculously meaningful in our lives. We've met the true parents. I was listening to True Mother when she gave a few words at the anniversary of the 40th year anniversary of the 6,000 couples. And it was in Korea. And she said, she laughed and she smiled and she said, "Oh, you're very lucky people, you met me," she said. And I was surprised. They all laughed and the atmosphere was very warm, because it's true, but still, I don't feel enough that closeness, True Mother, that it should be like that, that closeness, that warmth. So I just want to encourage everybody to think of the life of attendance as a joyful life. We're going through struggles, obviously, because things come up. If it's fallen nature, probably it's fallen nature, but it's not meant to be continuous. We're on the way, building the kingdom of heaven, channeling up nation. So let's have hope. I just felt that to speak about that today. This is the main point of my message, really, is life of attendance is incredibly important. But life of attendance is everything that we are doing, every small condition, like Sunday service even. I notice Halbert always comes early because that's like a condition to receive something, You may think, oh, it doesn't matter. Like some people would think, well, it doesn't matter. God is there. God will accept anything. But at the same time, as Father said, it's very difficult to attend God as well. And God doesn't just take everything, God is looking for the best kind of attitude, the best heart. Of course, God, as a parent, will accept everything, will accept all our efforts, but if we consistently improve, consistently make effort, and find something that's meaningful for you, then God will come to us more in a better way. And remember that attendance is foundation of faith and foundation of substance. That's attendance, the spiritual side of it, the internal foundation to receive true parents is the conditions of unity that we make. Sometimes it's very difficult to make unity, but these are like the internal foundation to receive true parents, either on the family or the tribe or the nation. And I hope I can share that with you today. I was going to show a video, but I don't know if people want to watch a video. It's a video of the true parents, but it's more to do with the holy days, not this one, but the earlier holy days in April, that period. But if you feel that you don't need that, then so let's see the time. Yeah, I think we could watch it. Yeah. So Dylan, we'll set it up. So it's about the holy days, and it's only about these holy days. And Mother is explaining about the preciousness of the blessing, true parents' blessing, and of course the meaning of the holy days together, being celebrated together.
Hello dear members and welcome to another edition of HJ Global News. The appearance of spring flowers has highlighted the beauty of the HJ Charwan complex. They have created a wonderful atmosphere as the events marking the 62nd anniversary of True Parents' Holy Wedding are taking place. In addition to this highly significant event, we are also celebrating the 55th Heavenly Parents' Day and the 63rd True Parents' Day on April 16. In this special edition of HJ Global News, we will share with you the deeper meaning of this celebration that mark the springtime of the Providence. The beautiful spring flowers are now out of the frozen ground and spread across the beautiful landscape. This new spring brings us a gentle breeze and warm rays of sunshine. It is a joyful time when we can appreciate the beauty of flowers and share a lot of love. This season symbolizes the beginning. It is the time when creation comes to life again. Heaven desired to see the providential spring, just as we desire to gaze upon the beautiful spring flowers. The spring of the providence. It began with the proclamation of John Eagles Foundation Day and marked the beginning of a new history and the entry into a new era with the proclamation of the Heavenly Parent's Holy Community. With God being the Heavenly Parent of humanity, true parents have guided worldwide efforts to achieve one human family united under God. Until the arrival of the Spring of the Providence, the Providential Course was a 54-year marathon from True Parents' Holy Wedding to the proclamation of Foundation Day. On March 16, 1960, according to the lunar calendar, the only begotten son and the only begotten daughter concluded their holy union before God, a day that marked the advent of true parents.
1960년 하늘 부모님께서 기다리고 기다리시던 지상의 섭리를 출발할 수 있는 1960년 3월 16일 이날은 하늘 부모님께서 참 부모와 하나가 되는 날이 되었어야 했습니다. 그리 되지 못한 상태에서 1960년 참 부모는 세계를 향해서 마라톤이 시작되었습니다. 끊임없는 세계를 품기 위한 노력은 이루 말할 수 없는, 이루 형용할 수 없는 피눈물 나는 사투였습니다. 그동안 54년간 섭리를 해왔던 것은 기원절을 맞기 위한 준비였어. 근데 기원절부터는 새롭게 나아가야 돼. 새 역사, 새 시대. 인간으로서 가장 크게 생각해야 될 것은 자식이라면은 부모야, 부모. 부모의 성원 기념일. 이 날만이 영원히 인류 앞에 전개져 내려오는 거야. 섭리의 완성은 봄이야, 봄. 봄줄기부터 출발하고 완성이 돼야 돼. 그래서 모든 행사는 참 부모의 날 행사도 3월 16일 하늘 부모님의 날도 3월 16일이 된다. 하늘 부모님의 출발이 봄이야. 겨울 동안에 다 준비하셔가지고 봄에 꽃 피우고 봄에 희망의 싹을 트시려 하셨어. 그렇기 때문에 인류 앞에 하늘 앞에 최고의 날은 3월 16일이다. 알겠습니까?
The emergence of true parents resulting from the holy matrimony marked the beginning of the true family movement for the restoration of humanity. True parents reveal that the history of mankind is the history of false lineage, which is a consequence of the fall based on the false love of Adam and Eve, the first human ancestors. They added that the key that opens the door to the kingdom of heaven is found within the family. As the victorious foundation of true parents continued to expand, the blessing in marriage became international. It has brought a real ray of hope to millions of blessed couples around the world as part of the vision of one human family united under God.
타락의 혈통을 소유하고 있는 인간은 누구나 망각. 애내 없이 혈통 전환을 거쳐 다시 태어나야 한다. 그 길만이 하나님께서 주신 창조론의 혈연으로 환연한 유일한 길이기 때문입니다. 그런데 혈통 전환을 하여 인류를 다시 하나님의 자녀로 찾아 세우는 최상의 방법은 교체 축복 결혼입니다.
The blessing in marriage represents the hope of peace for mankind, as it aims to restore the original heart and break all barriers erected by man through love. Today, thousands of world citizens share the idea that sexual abstinence before marriage among young people, fidelity and unchanging love in the couple are the most valuable virtues and values for building a world of peace.
지상이 중요한 것입니다. 여러분이 오늘 나와 함께 숨을 쉬고 존재하고 있다는 이 순간이 얼마나 중요한지 모릅니다. 섭리를 아는 나로서는 한치의 여유도 없었습니다. 승리한 토대 위에 나는 2020년 천일국 안착을 선포했습니다. 천일국 안착입니다. 정착이 아닌 안착입니다. 선포했으면 선포로서 끝나서는 안 됩니다. 하늘 부모님을 만민과 더불어 영화롭게 모시고 사는 삶을 보여줘야 하는데 늦출 수가 없는 결론입니다. 하늘 부모님께서 꿈꿔오셨던 그 사랑의 실천장은 천상이 아니라 지상입니다. 보이지 않는 영으로 계시는 부모님께서 보이는 완성한 인간을 통한 인간과 하나 된 참 부모 자리, 하늘 부모님으로서 인류를 품고 사랑하고 기르고 싶으신 것이었습니다.
The spring of the providence. We are in a new golden age where we serve the heavenly parent and true parents substantially. We are called to live each day with the goal of loving humanity a little more and revealing the identity of the heavenly parent to them. Today is a sacred day when the holy wedding of true parents is celebrated. On this wonderful day, thanks to the Hyojong Cosmic Blessing Festival, many couples are grateful to make a new start as children of the heavenly parent. A new era has begun for the heavenly parents' holy community, which founded on the proclamation of Chanilguk's establishment intends to gather all humanity under the authority of the heavenly parent. We are in the spring of the providence. Let us be thankful for this new history this new era and let us build a future together that we can be proud of before God. Spring is of course one of the 4 seasons of the year, and in Korean the word spring comes from the noun form of the verb to see. So spring is the season when we are led to turn our eyes to God, to contemplate the steps of true parents, and to appreciate our fellow man. God looked at what he had finished operating and he said it was good. We hope that through this celebration of these holy days, you'll be filled with joy and fully feel the immense love of our Heavenly Parent. With these words, we close this edition of HJ Global News. Thank you for following us, and may God bless you.
I hope that was inspiring. I know you might have seen it in your own times, but sometimes we forget these things after a while, and it's good to be reminded again. Just close with a prayer. Our beloved Heavenly Parents, thank you so much today that we could gather together, gather our hearts and minds and our bodies here. I know it's a very few people, but we also have some people online. We're really praying, Heavenly Parents, that you can move forward with us, each one of us, in the providence, and may guide each family, each blessed couple, each second generation, each one of us, Heavenly Parents, to be closer to you in heart, to realize what is our relationship with you. We want to truly feel as that we are true children of yours, true children of God. And that is an amazing thing to feel if we really feel it. And we can not just intellectually experience it, but actually feel it. Father said one time that you should feel God as closer than like the air that you breathe, or you feel it's cold. He said, well, you should feel God before you even know about it. That kind of feeling, even such a close feeling. Heavenly Parents, please guide us. We are still on the way, each one of us, and we have a long path to travel, but each one is on that path, and you're always giving your love to each one of us. We always feel your presence and your love and your grace in so many ways. So we pray, Heavenly Parents, you can be with each one of us, and that we can also spread this love and blessings to others in a small way or a big way. We can be a loving touch to other people and communicate your heart to them. We don't know exactly how to do that sometimes, but you will show us in the circumstances we're in. I pray your guidance upon us, and pray for each one as we go forward into the new week and to all our plans and goals, that you can guide us. And I pray this with gratitude in the name of John Kennedy, Blessed Central Family. Chew.
Hope we all gained something from the beautiful sermon, and also the video where we could hear some words from our true mother. Moving on, we'd like to sing our final holy song.
Let's really prepare our hearts and our minds for the sermon today. The Lord into his garden comes, the spices yield a rich perfume. The lilies grow and thrive, the lilies grow and thrive. Refreshing showers of rain.
Okay, so hello everybody. Hope everyone's doing well. First thing is just I sent out the email, but a little note on the holy candles from the special works. I'm going to do that actually right now after the service. So just if you can tell me who online, if they can kind of raise their hands online and hear who needs a holy candle. I can do a quick count. So 1 family, 2 family, 3 families. Anyone on the yeah, just tell them to raise their hand or chat or something, just let you know. Okay, because I only had 1 family actually tell me directly, so that's why I'm kind of trying to get the count now. So that's 1, 2, 3. 1 there is 4. That wasn't Matthias, was it? Okay, so he already told me, so that's 4, 5. Huh? Anne as well. And who? Colin. So that's, yeah, it's actually 7 because all right. Is that everyone then? Last chance? All right, so that's how many I have to do. Okay. I might do 1 or 2 extra because people always contact me later. But then if they don't, that's kind of a wasted candle. So I'd prefer if people tell me and then I'll do it. All right, and then for lunch today, there's actually not so many people. Huh? Okay, 8. That's good. So all right, good. Well, who are they? Just tell me who they are then. Okay, great. Yeah, so all right, so that's 8. I already heard from Sumi, so that's okay. So that's 8. All right, 8. And then yeah, for lunch today, there's not so many people. So there's like sausages and bacon and bread and tomatoes and stuff. I know the Iversons and us are going out for lunch, birthday party, and happy birthday, Abby, today. But everyone else, who's actually going to eat lunch then? Because I might just take it all back and take the receipt to the shop and give it back. But who wants to stay for lunch? You'll cook your own bacon and sausage and stuff, but you can eat some lunch. Rory, sorry, Ji-san, you're gonna cook some bacon and sausage for everyone? Is that the plan? Or John, Tinka? All right. You guys are gonna head home or you're gonna eat? Don't know? All right. Sorry, putting you in the spot. All right, so but let's take the holy table stuff down then, and you can also have some treats. Other thing is the AGM's next week, as everyone knows. I think the directors still need to meet one time. Are you guys planning to meet, directors? Okay. Okay, all right. So I think there might be a final agenda. Also, if people want proxies, they really need to get in by Friday, 1 p.m. So if you have them with you today or you want to print them out and sign them, you have directors here, get them to them. All right, I think I'm trying to think if there's one other point, but I think that covers it. So yeah, thank you everyone. Have a great week. Oh no, sorry, there's an announcement from John, isn't there? Yeah, but I saw something on Facebook. Is that okay to announce? Okay. So John has another grandchild on the way. On the way, right? So give him a round of applause. Kotak and Aiden are pregnant in Malta. So bit of a baby boom going on. 2023 is going to be the year, I think. Oh, okay. That was okay. All right, good. All right, so oh, what is it? Is it sweet? Yeah. Okay. All right. So on the holy table, Ji-sung's telling me now. Reverend Balcom brought the European chocolates over. So that's a gift kind of to the Irish community. But the pink one is something directly from Mother. So he brought it from Korea from Mother. So the pink container there, I think there's some sweets in there or something. So a gift kind of directly from Mother. So kind of special gift this time around. And I know John mentioned True Children's Day, but let's also remember there's a second holy day as well. And Foundation Day of the Unified Nation. And I talked about that anyway at the holy day. All right, so thanks everyone. Have a great week, and thanks for this week, and I'll see everyone next week. Have a good one. Have a great week.